Hello, everybody out there. We are back with new entity as a research cluster. Welcome to the Spotlight Dialogue, episode 27, the evening show about to raise awareness around the importance of creativity and innovation in problem solving with respect to advancing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are SDG 8 is about decent work and economic growth, and SDG 9 is about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Where this episode, we will take this dialogue coinciding with World Creativity and Innovation Day. Also explore how creativity, design, service innovation, and sustainability intersect with a focus on collaborative approaches, user-centered design for a sustainable future, and education. I'm your host, Stephen Poon. Good evening to all the audience tuning in. The Spotlight Dialogue episode 27 is brought to you by the regular team of the Special Interest Group in Circular Creativity from Integrated Sustainability and Creative Strategies Research Cluster, acronym as ISUCS, also known ISUCS, at Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, APU. Our first guest for today's show in 2024, Katja Tschimmel, founder and managing consultant, My Shake House from Portugal. For those who don't know, German by birth and Portuguese by choice, she is a consultant and executive trainer, researcher and lecturer, coach, and conference speaker. Katja researches and works in the fields of creative thinking, design thinking, and creative processes, models, and innovation frameworks for more than 20 years. She is the author of several books and articles in the domain of creativity and innovation. She is the managing owner of MindShake, a consultancy in creative thinking and design. She is also guest professor at University of Porto and the Porto Business School, giving master classes in several other educational higher institutions in Portugal and abroad. Since 2023, she is the Portuguese ambassador of the World Creativity Innovation Week. Luckily, Katja is on hand to give us a quick lowdown on the topic creativity and service design, an important contribution to sustainable innovation. Please welcome Dr. Katja Tschimmel. Hello, Katja.
Hello, Stephen.
Yeah,
It's
you're
so
unmuted.
nice to be with you here.
How are you? How's your day? Good morning to you, by the way.
It's exactly. You see by the light which is coming in. Here
Yeah, I
it
know
is
that.
11 o'clock now in Portugal. It's a very sunny day. We are very lucky this week, this creativity week. The sun is collaborating with us.
But unfortunately, we are having a rain now. We are raining out there, a little bit of storming, and I can see from here.
Really?
Oh, yeah, it's been
Oh,
storming. There was a thunderstorm running actually behind me. But of course, I'm still in the house, by the way.
yeah.
So yeah, there you
I
go.
can see by your background.
Okay, I'm so thrilled that you are here with us, Katja. I know that you are a busy woman and you are
Yes.
well known and fantastic. You're all over the places. And I remember that you told me a couple days ago you have this launching of your new book, and also
Exactly.
according to this, based on this Creativity Innovation Day, which is I think that'll be nice. So you can tell me more about this. What is it all about this book?
Yes, here at MindShake, every year between the 15th and 21st, which is the Creativity Week, the World Creativity Week, we always do what we call our fun projects. Because as MindShakers we are trying to bring creative thinking to organizations. So this is our mission. Sometimes we say we want to contagious them with the creativity virus. So actually, yeah, we invented that before the pandemic. That was fun.
Yeah, it always works, isn't it?
Yes, and we stopped
It always
to use
works.
it.
Always giving an excuse. I want to do something.
Exactly. So in that week we always have our projects because we also need to be alimented, to get inspiring food, let us say like this. So we are doing these fun projects for us, which is books, which are exhibitions, open day, etc. So this year, actually I have some books here. I even have the creativity virus. That was it. At that year we didn't knew how can we visualize a virus, because we didn't knew that red thing, which now everybody knows because of the COVID, isn't it?
Yeah.
But at that time we used an analogy, which is, this is the kind of code of the creativity virus book, and
Nice
you see
book.
the colors, and these are the names from the people who participated. We're always doing kind of collaborative and collective projects so that we get a lot of people on board. And this year, actually, I was very happy to have you also on board.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Katja. You found me. It is a pleasure to write a chapter in this book, really, So I think for the audience out there, right, I'm also one of the contributors for this book with Katja.
Exactly.
Thank you, Katja, giving me the chance to write about this together, working with the collaborator from the European Union region. So I think it's really nice, actually. But thank you for that. But
yes, I found you through sustainability. So the title is, it's a bit difficult to read because the designers are very creative with the typography.
Yeah, it's a bit arty-farty, isn't it?
It's creativity for a sustainable future. And that's what we really need in these times, isn't it? So in this book, the first thing, the designers really try to be sustainable with the book. So it's only one color. It's no colorful. So we choose the green paper, put in one color the text. With the cover, they were a bit more generous with colors. But then actually what is very nice, because we wanted to be sustainable, but to have the creativity part, they did a surprising thing. This is the separations between the chapters are closed. Let me see of one. So it's not a mistake. It's closed. And what you have to do, you have to
Intended
take
to do
something
this, right?
sharp and open it. And he have another version. So I show you how it looks open. Then it opens. So this was
nice.
together. And then that opens, you cut it, and then comes the name of the chapter. So here the chapter is about projects where the focus was sustainability and creativity. So this was one thing, to have the creativity part. And then also you see this. This is the cover on the cover. So we invited 11 illustrators, and they did these covers we put around. Okay, so that we can personalize. And at the moment we have an exhibition here. It's a pity that you can't be here.
I know that you told me about the exhibition. Oh, I'm so it's so sad.
So far away from each other.
Yeah, it's true. So there'll be a day I'll go over to Portugal. Yeah. Probably the other way around. You come to Malaysia, I will host you.
Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Yes, probably we can
know.
work together for certain project. You never know. So this
can
be discussable. Yeah, this can be discussable, definitely.
Yes.
Okay.
So just to finish this, on the 21st, then on the day which the United Nations classified as the World Creativity and Innovation Day, they associated that to sustainability and to the 17 sustainability goals. So that's why on that day we launch with a big party the book. So this is this
nice,
Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah, good day. Okay, yeah, I'm still I feel really which is sad I couldn't be there. I know that you told me this which is way back a few weeks talking about this event. I know that also all the author invited for this launching. I'm one of the authors as well.
You was hours away. Other authors more nearby, so not everybody's coming, but actually I will later send you a link, and we will have on Zoom. So you can be in a digital way with us.
Yeah, it's true. And then I realized that I'm the only author is the furthest away from you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm the only which is a non-European in your book. That's very precious. Thank you so much.
I would love to have people from Australia or from Africa, but you have to meet these people to be able to invite them.
Which is they all have a beautiful mind actually. But for your information, I have somebody for the next podcast, right? He is Romanian, but he's working in West Africa. In Dhaka.
Okay, wow, interesting.
Yeah, they will be in May, but I will send you the invite about this. So we will talk about data economy. So it's in the sustainable context as well. So, but it's really hard to get him in actually. But it's a pleasure to get him in as well, which is really nice. It's the same thing I'm getting you. It's a really pleasure to get you in as well. All the important personnel in the world, all the champion in the field, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you for all your efforts you're doing. Really, it's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, let's begin our which is dialogue. Let's look at these intersection of the creativity and service design, which is according to the topic. Katja, please share with the audience how creativity fuels innovative service design solution.
Yes. So first, when we speak about creativity, many people think that creativity and creative thinking is the same. And I do a differentiation because creativity, looking at it in a systemic perspective, it's not enough that a person thinks different. So try to produce original ideas. So this is a creative thinking as a capacity of a person or a group of persons or even a city to produce new ideas and new knowledge. So that's how I would define that. But in the systemic perspective, you also need the people who recognize the value of the ideas. So you need the specialists, you need the context, the cultural context. What, for example, for me or for the Portugal context could be something new with a value, perhaps in Asia is already well known, and it's not surprising. So it depends also on the context of the knowledge people have. And like I mean, in painting, for example, Van Gogh, he was not recognized as a creative person. People thought he's crazy. And only much later, specialists in art said, no, that work were really groundbreaking and very important. So it's not only about the thinking part. So this is my, in the minimum, it's my view.
But it was too late actually after he died. That's too sad actually.
It is. But that happens with a lot, with people who have a forward thinking or they are different. Normally it needs somebody who recognizes the value.
But to be honest, because not everybody appreciated all this forward thinking. They find that it's a scandal. So and people with this kind of mindset, usually they receive a lot of criticism. So they think that why you are so different, why you're thinking different way, why you're not the norm. Exactly. So there's always being criticized that way, But I think this has not only happened back then in the 19th century, it's also in the 21st century. Even today in the AI era, there's a lot of all these forward-thinking personnel out there, but it's still getting a really bad criticism, unfortunately.
People are afraid by different ideas. They're afraid, they're resilient to change, and creative people normally want changes, want to produce changes, want to provoke. So of course that's the audience also needs a creative mind to understand these ideas, to be open to receive them. So this is my approach about creativity. But I think that actually we all can be creative. We all have.
Yeah, exactly. My mom is very creative. Although my mom is not a creative person, but I find that she's really creative. Especially she's specializing preparing the food in the kitchen and always waiting for us to get home and all. She's very creative. And then all the food putting on the table is so tempted and very nice. Although when I feel bad day, right, then when I get home, when I see my mom, I feel very happy. So it's really nice actually.
It's absolutely. There's creativity which is more valuated because, for example, technology or in art. But there's also the daily creativity which your mom is doing, which surprise people with care, with new food. So we speak about different levels of creative performance, but everybody can be it. And actually, I normally say you're creative when you create. So if you don't create nothing, obviously you are not creative. So more things you create, more creative you become. So this is the approach I give to creativity. It is also a bit that people who are not working in art or in design or architecture, they normally think from themselves, oh, I'm not a creative person. And I say, yeah, you are. If you create something new, you are creative. You just have to create something new because there are a lot of people who are afraid.
As long as you're looking for solution to fix the problem according to their expertise and experience, I think there's a lot of creative solution involved. That's what I see. Creativity is always there, but it doesn't have to be some people from the really so-called the design and art background, but actually it's applied across. Okay, Katja, what are the principles of the service design and how do they contribute to sustainability? Let's look at the principle here.
Yeah. So first, for me, service design, that is something still pretty new. It comes from the 90s. And you all know what design is. We design artifacts, products, we design graphics things, but a service also can be designed. And here's the difference, of course, it's not only the artifact, service has also the process and has the experience. So I would say that service design today we can see as a process of creating and improving the interaction between the service provider and the user. So it's very user-focused, human-focused. And I think that's also the connection with creativity. When we are creative, we're creating for somebody. And frequently, this is a bit forgotten by the kind of star designers. Frequently, they create nice objects because they like them. Architects do this also. And sometimes they criticize the architects when they create, for example, a glass wall or door. How many times you saw children running and
getting the accident
against the glass door because the architect thought it aesthetically so nice, but it's not user friendly. So
not for the kids.
not for the kids. Nobody. I did that once.
You also hit the. I think I did it once actually. There was I think somewhere in my house and all. I couldn't see it. So I thought it's open, the sliding door, right? I think I just walk all the way through. I just hit the door really, real good.
But this is about user friendliness. So,
it's
of
true.
course, service design to create, I mean, a lot of services, they're in business, obviously, but also cities and the governments are have giving us services for the citizen. And frequently it looks like that we have to give them something to do them a favor of using whatever, but actually they are paid by our monies, by our tax money, and they should provide us very good user-friendly services. So now, in the 90s, I wanted to do a master about service design, but I just came to Portugal and the first course was in Köln, in Colonia, in Germany. And I thought, oh no, God, going back to Germany, I don't want to do that. So I studied creativity. But then creativity brought me over design thinking to service design again.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny. And now we are working with service design thinking, doing also projects for city council. We will start one also for a big mixed private and governmental project actually in 2 weeks. So that's really nice that I'm coming back to that. And then so you asked me about the principles, isn't it? So the first one clearly is a user-centeredness. But then it's also
user-centered
about
design,
yes,
human-centric,
but or experience-centric as well. And actually now connected to sustainability, I would say it should be life-centric design. If we don't call it planet-centric. But here I would say life-centric because it's the user, it's us, but it's also our ambience. I mean, little by little, we're destroying it. So it should be really life-centered, because if we don't consider the planet, then our life quality will be worse. So I think their service design connected to sustainability has an enormous responsibility now. And of course, we will speak, I guess, later also about design education. So we really have to bring this there. So because if we don't change behaviors, it will be really bad. And I don't know, 10, 20 years.
Okay, Katja, let's go into focus on the service design now. Okay, service design is a significant driver of behavioral change, enabling, encouraging, or discouraging particular practices from taking place. Like according to some of the which is statement you have just made, already approaches derived from the concept have enabled us to recycle, heat more efficiently, for instance, increase our exercises patterns, and change the way we think about interaction, along with many more examples beside can be.
That's a good example, actually, of what I was saying.
Despite service design clear influence on human behavior, the understanding of the designing for behavior change is still fragmented, and limited frameworks exist from its effective implementation in professional and public contexts. So, Katja, how is the usage of sustainable service innovation strategically beneficial for creative education moving towards sustainability?
Oh, that's a complex question.
So now we are going to the really deeper side now. We're gonna deep dive. We're gonna dig and dig and dig and deeper. And deeper,
because here is the sustainability now, which we have to connect to the service design practice and then to the education. And of course, it is all intertwined. Actually, I like this image you have in the background, which showed how everything is interlined. And we as designer, we can't look only to one project or one service. We always have to see how it's connected with others. So we need the holistic picture to see if we are not doing harm by solving one problem, but then creating a lot of other problems, which actually happens. That happens. A lot of people say that the designer's fault is that stimulating more consumption, and that brought us to the situation which we are now. So it's a very complex thing. So let us speak a bit about sustainability, because here, of course, what we want is, first is we want to produce as less as waste as possible. Zero is very difficult, but this is one of the things. If I speak about ecological sustainability, of course, we also can speak about social and economic, but okay, let us stay with the environmental challenges. So actually, the view I have is we should work that through our design, through service design, and also product design, we should try to keep whatever we create, but above all, artifacts, as long as possible in the cycle, so that they don't become waste. And this takes us then to service design, which, we have to design. We have to design service design, so that
one of service design.
It's the first role. Actually, in '98, I wrote an article when I wanted to study service design, and it was my first scientific article I wrote about service design. And I said the first task of the designers is to designing service design. So design as a service for service design. So, but anyway, in the last 25 years, a lot happened in service design. There's a long evolution, and now really a lot of schools have it and so on. So, which is a chance for us to take it now really to address sustainability challenges. So I would say here, service design, what it can help us to have this holistic view on realities, on situations where we are, to, how can we say it? We can't design the behavior, but we can try to provoke through the experience we design that people react on a certain way. So here in Portugal, or in Portugal, actually, we have a very, very good company on waste management. They're very famous, and they are doing a lot of good services to the citizens. So they're helping them to not only to separate their waste. This is the minimum, isn't it? But still, a lot of people don't do that. So there's a big need that service designers work on that, to educate people to separate the waste as a minimum.
Okay, Katja, sustainable innovation service is a factor that deserves attention in the creative education, according to you. So what factors may help to enhance sustainable innovation service?
To enhance sustainable
innovation service,
service. By the
what
designers,
factors may help?
By the designers. So obviously through awareness. So the designer's role, they have to be, I would say, communicate very well, that people get aware what they have to change in their behavior. So designer also becomes, I would say, an educator. Oh, I have something in mind.
Okay, what may direct or indirect effects exist in the relationship between the education environment and sustainable innovation services?
Yes. So it is in design schools where it starts, but not only. Also in business schools, you could teach the service design approach and design thinking. I think now design thinking is nearly in every business school. So that we really
that's true. And I'm currently teaching entrepreneurship and also innovation process. Is all is really fully apply this design thinking method. How to apply this which across to the business model canvas, for instance. So by using design thinking.
But there's also a sustainable business model canvas, or a service business model canvas. Is always
that's true.
Depends where you want to put the focus on this new experience, on this more sustainable approach. So that is also interesting. How these tools, which are coming from design methodology, but also from other areas now are being transformed and adapted to these new contexts.
Yeah, this is very interdisciplinary nowadays.
Yes.
It's really like it's all crossing all over the places. So this is how the beauty of this is no longer is a single discipline, but it's a multidiscipline in order to create a better creative with better solution and then apply across our, which is the most current, which is an innovative era nowadays, which is the AI era. Yeah. Okay, let's stick with this innovation here, the context of the innovation. The current innovation ecosystem also gives rise to the probability that startups may be developing ideas in isolation, potentially unaware of the synergies with other stakeholders and unable to benefit from the wisdom of the collective intelligence, according to what you just said. So how can sustainable innovation be galvanized and supported to successfully meet the challenges of today?
Yes, that's a good question. Yeah, I think the first thing is really these cross and multidisciplinary approaches. So, of course, when we work in sustainable innovation, we have to work with other people. So the co-creation is very important.
Yeah.
And yes, and the best is if you put in a team really different people, like the designers, the engineers, the technicians, perhaps also...
And also the participatory design?
Completely. So also the users. So because they know very well where are the problems, and so the citizen, when it's for the government, for example, they know very well where are weak points and where are problems to solve. So for me, this is one of the most important things, that designers, service designers, or designers in general, do not create for people, but with people. So this happens in some schools, but not everywhere. And then for me, another very important principles where the interconnection between sustainability and service innovation is the systemic thinking. So I mentioned
systemic thinking. Yeah, there's a key point. Systemic thinking. Yeah. Okay. Of course, being creativity is a very right-brainer. So systemic thinking is very left-brainer because it's analytical, logical mindset. I think that's what the beauty of the being. The with usage of the design thinking is embrace the both sides of the mindset, which is the left brainer and the right brainer.
Yeah.
Okay. Under which conditions are innovative initiative likely to thrive and result in the development of the market fit solution to address sustainability challenges?
Yeah, but that's exactly the systemic view. So we have the market, and the market is not accepting everything. So here, of course, we have in the design thinking method, we have a lot of tools where we can try to understand better what... market is very capitalistic approach. I prefer to say the people for who we design.
You don't want to be too capitalist.
What is a market? It's a marketplace where you sell your vegetables or what? No, I'm joking. I know.
Financial marketplace. Share.
No, and actually, when we speak about sustainability, it's not only environmental and social. Obviously, it's also the economic part, because
exactly. This is the really important keys here, especially in the urban setting.
And that is a beautiful thing. As designers, service designers, we really have to balance this, these three different perspectives, so that we really can give value to the market or to the people, and that's why I think we really need to develop perhaps more tools to really understand not only which are the trends for the future, but also what really makes that people have better life quality. And life quality has these three approaches: the social, the finance, and the environmental. I don't know if I answered your question. I just remembered also important is this continuously improvement, this continuously looking what people need, adapting, be quick in changes when we need it or when the market is calling for it. I don't know if that's what you wanted.
I think this is fine. Because you mentioned about this innovation part as well. So I think let's look at the current context here. Innovation. I think we all know, especially today, the phenomenon, all this AI, innovation,
Mhm.
tech. Everything is about tech. So let's okay, we can consider this as an innovation. So let's look at the innovation as a driver of change.
Mhm.
The pace of the change, right, and the speed of innovation are also accelerating, as indicated by massive uptake of innovative products and services and the
Mhm.
mainstreaming of the technology-driven culture. For
Mhm.
example, digitalization is now part of the everyday life for
No.
most individuals and for virtually all economic sectors.
Mhm.
So, in your many years of the practice, especially uh, lately, how can society steer its innovation system towards being open enough to unleash human creativity while avoiding technology-driven man-made environmental problems?
Yes. Actually, we have this here in the cities now. The cities are really digital oriented now here in Portugal, um,
Mm,
which um, attract a lot of digital nomads. So
mhm,
to have an innovation driven environment, you have to give the space and the opportunities that also young companies. You were speaking about startups. It's not only startups, but people
mhm,
can meet. They can create their networks. They can work together. They have opportunities given perhaps by the cities, by the state, to meet and to evolve as
mhm,
tech, or not only tech companies, but as coming with new solutions.
mhm,
So we speak now about smart cities, digital
mhm, yeah.
cities. Here's a lot
Mhm.
of work in that in Porto. I don't know how it's in Malaysia. I guess it's
We are
probably more
quite
front.
we are quite thriving in this area, especially with the support of the ministry lately.
Yes. Mhm.
So there's a lot of things going on. So technologically, so they imply a lot of things, and they're giving a lot of funding out and to make sure that the young people really, which is get into the ecosystem.
Yes, and put
So
them in companies. What's happening here?
yeah, it's
It's
true.
also the startup agile way of working. Put
Mm,
that in big
mm,
companies so that they become more agile. So there's a whole way of mixing methods that more traditional companies also get in this flow. Because
mhm,
I mean, you speak about quick innovation, or that it's each time quicker, but then the
mhm.
people are not prepared for.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes I
Our
can't follow
minds,
everything.
our minds
How
are
what?
still
Yeah.
very
Oh, is it new
getting
things
back.
now? It's so fast. Oops.
Yes. So I think we have to be a bit careful. And also all this
Yeah,
discussion
yeah.
about artificial intelligence, people are really
Mm,
afraid. And a lot of people don't see it just as a tool. I mean, I see it as a tool, and I use artificial intelligence
yeah.
to help me,
Exactly.
not to
I know.
substitute me, to help me. As
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
as other tools do. And of course, there's a lot of, it's very quickly evolving. And as people
Mm,
don't know what will happening, so some people really reject it because they're afraid. They're afraid to lose
mm.
their jobs. They're afraid that some artificial thing can take over. I don't believe that. I think we are smart enough, we as humans,
Yeah,
our
we
minds.
made it. Remember, we made them.
Yeah,
So
I
we
think
created them. We
we
programmed them.
we will be dominating that. I believe that. But anyway, but all this discussion in society shows you that people are really afraid of
Can
this
I ask you
change.
something a little bit more humane here, right? Katya, do you believe in nature of law?
The nature of law. What do you mean with
Yeah.
nature of
Well, I
law?
think that is the I think that is the line we cannot cross.
Okay.
Because of one, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because if we cross, right,
Yes.
there you go. So
No,
there will be disaster.
I think we are part of nature. When you speak about nature, we are nature.
Yeah, but some people think differently, especially nowadays. A lot of people they influenced by a lot of all these technological advancement, especially those are the people who are living in the really, really urban city.
Mhm.
So then they have a different mindset. especially the younger generation, they really think differently.
Yes.
Especially I can get this reflection from the student I'm teaching now, but they are very different. How come the way they think in such a way, not how I see that? Probably okay, you said that, oh Stephen, you're too old for that. But I don't think so, because there is a humanities behind that. You don't think in such a way. There's a lot of so-called there's like kind of cold blood mindset, because they imply of too much of all this technology. And but of course, not everybody. It's just like once in a while you get some of the young people, they think in such a way that's really strange actually. But I don't say that they are wrong. It's just like, it's the whole phenomenon shape their mindset.
Yeah.
In order to react on that, instead of, it's not their fault actually. I don't blame them, because it's the whole phenomenon. So
but you have to think, Stephen, when we grow up, I played outside the house.
I remember.
The whole day I was playing outside. My children, they were not playing outside. They were inside the room in front of their computers.
So, that's playing also a different type of playing.
Other kind of play. But that, of course, influences their way to looking at nature and looking at the planet. Obviously, everybody who has grown up in urban spaces frequently even don't know to recognize kind of trees or plants. I don't know. Some people never saw growing a certain fruit, or so the distance to what we can call nature, but the separation from us, the distance is bigger in the use. So there's some very interesting projects how you can bring children back to nature and to teach them gardening, etc. So there's some schools which even forbid taking computers and mobile phones into the classes for that moment, because new experiences showed that by not reading books or touching plants or whatever, our way of thinking changed. And some people think a change was a negative. I mean, you see that people, when I asked my student, when I was still a teacher in a design school, I asked, so how many books you have read in your holiday? If somebody said one book, it was enormously. Normally, no book. And if I asked how many books you read in the year, book.
I can share with you. My student never read books. They say everything is online.
But it's different.
Everything is website. Everything is website. Okay,
but
website.
It's different. You take this in your hand and you smell it, and you
but this
slowly.
This is our time, Katja.
No, but I don't think so. I think the young generation is missing things out, and that will influence the way of thinking. But perhaps I'm old-fashioned. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Okay, let's go back to. I just recap of the keyword you mentioned about co-creation, and also I mentioned about this participatory design. Okay, let's look at the collaborative approaches here to explore the importance of the collaboration and interdisciplinary cooperation in the designing sustainable solution. So how can partnership between the designers, engineers, environmental experts, and community members lead to the more effective outcomes?
I mean, service design itself encourages.
Probably you can talk about some of the projects you had involved. Katja.
Yes. I mean, when you work in service design, you always have to work with different stakeholders. We did a project with the city council here in Porto, and we had people from finance department, from the digital department, from mobility. We also worked with the social innovation department. So more kind of different stakeholders you have, better you can design the services. Because you get different kind of perspectives in, and also you can be more creative, because you combine more knowledge and you can create really something new. So I think more diverse a group is, more interesting can be the outcome. This is the first thing. So that's why I believe in collective creativity in the books, and we still do the books. So this is one thing. Then connecting it to sustainability. Actually, I mean, I could share with you, we just developed a model and also cards. We play with cards, not digitally, with real cards. And we do this bringing different stakeholders together and see how is the approach with circular economy. In that case, it's very specific. It's circular economy. So we developed a model with 11 strategies, and then with action cards. And then it's really interesting to see how the engineer looks in a certain action card or strategy, or a marketeer or somebody from administration. And it's so rich to do this. So I never would work alone in a project for
exactly. I'm applying a grant. It's the European grant, but I can't disclose the name at the moment because it's still in the process of application.
Yeah.
So I'm working with different stakeholder and also working with different personnel from a different university. They're all from a different forte discipline. So it's really nice, it's a one big project. We all sit down together. We all chip in ideas, discuss. You can see the view is very different. So one same topic, right? They all argue, debate very differently. So that's really rich. Actually, you can come to the solution by saying that, right? Things can be, all the problem can be solved, right? Not just only from the single view, can be from the multiple view, actually.
Yeah.
So it can be from the alternative. It's also giving us to have the opportunity to keep this as a contingency plan instead of like, this is the best. Because in our context, right, we don't say that this is the best, but we always look for what is better each time. Because when we say this is the best, right, then we get saturated. Then we cannot go forward anymore. So I don't like to say.
Is there the best? I mean, this is another discussion. Is this such a thing as optimization? I mean, I guess in design methodologies in the 70s, we were trying to develop methods which bring us to the best solution. So this is a spirit of optimization. But we know now that the best for one person could not be the best for another person because the users are so different. So
probably what I can interpret another way, when we say this is the best, right? I always think that for the current context, for now, I think this is the best. But it's not what I mean. This is the best forever. But for the current now, there's so many ideas. Okay, for now, this is the good one. We're gonna use that. But when I say this is the best one, right, it's just for the current.
Yes.
Then, of course, the rest can be treated as a contingency.
Yeah.
So
no, I agree on that. It's when best things always a moment.
Yeah, the best is the moment. It's not like the best forever.
No.
So this is not what I meant. I just afraid of some people probably interpreted wrongly, say that, there's never best idea. But there's always a best idea, but the best for the moment.
Yes.
So, but there's always keeping the rest as a contingency.
Yes, that's why it's so important, the deadlines, If you wouldn't have a deadline, if you wouldn't have a deadline to deliver, you could always improve, you could always change.
Yeah, it's true. And then when the deadline hit, right, okay, that's it. This is the best for now.
Exactly.
Go on. And then we will think about this for the next time, or probably once we get approved, then we move on. So
exactly.
then we can do it along the way, make it improve or whatever, whichever way we want. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna change the gears a little bit. Okay, we have been talking about all of the concerns that we have been discussing on the show, and I would like you to be able to share your ideas and see what other listeners are thinking about that in a little bit. So there is inadequate attention given to highlight sustainable innovation and creativity for value creation in education and education enterprises. Yes. So to what extent has sustainable innovation promoted social satisfaction in education enterprises in Portugal? So, and also the follow-up question, what do you think about that in Asian context, particularly Southeast Asian region, if you know something about that?
I can speak about Portugal and Europe. About Asia, I don't think that I don't know enough about your education system, and no. But I think, perhaps we can have exchange about that, because here universities, they ask us, the professors, to introduce issues of sustainability in every discipline we teach. So I'm teaching design thinking and creativity. So it's kind of easy for me to bring sustainability in. So because what they want is obviously that the mindset of they want us to shake the minds, but to change
mindset, not my shake.
To change the mindset of our students and of the future professionals, obviously. So either I'm teaching in an engineering faculty or in a business faculty or economic faculty or design school, whatever. But government, the Ministry of Education, really want that students think more sustainable. So in every discipline, we have to bring it in. You can do it through teaching the sustainability goals. I do it through teaching circular economy principles. So there are different ways. And I think obviously little by little society is changing, and you see that consumers become more critical by the product they are buying. So they are looking more, is this really not abusing, for example, certain raw materials, or how is water efficiency, etc. So consumers are very critical now, and I think this is.
I think they are more. I think consumer today is much more knowledgeable, and because of the accessibility of the internet, so I think they know more than before. But before that, we need to travel, then we get to understand the world. Today, we don't need physically travel, then we know the world. So it's differently.
Exactly.
But of course, physically travel there is just to enhance our experience, to double confirm what we know is correct. There's always that way.
So I never have been actually in Asia. I have been in India, but a long time ago. And but I remember when I have been in India, I have been in a conference of the National Design Institute, which was a wonderful conference. That was in
it's true. But
or something.
They are a very good institution,
It is, but the city Ahmedabad, where I have been, was so polluted, but so polluted. I felt so bad there. So I don't know. I mean, the education there is very good, but I don't. It's difficult for me as European.
If you think about that way, the other way, right? They are living in that kind of environment for 100 years, hundreds of years actually, and also they are immune. So to be honest, so they are to be honest, they are stronger than us. Put it this way.
No, that's possible. I really got very ill there, so that's why I never came back to India, because I got so ill when I came back. So my immune system was not prepared for that, really. So, but it was a lovely experience there. So I don't know how it's in Malaysia. I have friends who lived there 5 years, and they were so happy. They loved Malaysia. But I don't know enough about education, sustainability education, and
is picking up, and the government very supportive, and also for my situation, anything what I teach, right, I always align with the SDG 17 goal. And especially those are the project. Like for instance, currently I'm teaching the student working on the food security project. So and it has to align with which is a one or two from the SDG goals, and also working on the which is the hygiene cleanliness issue, one of the project for the student as well. Also looking into the SDG, aligned with the SDG, but of course in the local context, in the Malaysian context. So so these are the things I always given the student have the awareness of, make sure that we are not just doing things like just to comply with the project requirement, but also there's a humanities behind it to align with the SDGs. So we need to make sure that whatever we do, we always responsive to all these nowadays a heavy issue that's about climate change. So
Yeah.
this year is the climate change action, which is according to COP28. Last year they will talk about all this, but today this year they have a COP29. So they're coming out to have a different agenda as well. But the thing is all about how can we solve the problem, especially into this climate change. I think nowadays is really a big issue. Remember the other day I told you that this week in Malaysia all this heat wave really driving us crazy. It's so hot actually. So every day you can feel that you more go up to like 40 degrees if you stay outside, especially in the afternoon. You can really feel that way.
Yeah.
So
the other day I learned that besides the sustainability goals, the 17, there are also inner sustainability goals. So somebody came to the conclusion that to focus on these 17 goals, we need also an inner change. And let me just see if I have here a document. Where is this book? Yeah. I have it here because I just came back from a conference last week in Italy about creativity, and
you told me about
these
that.
are the inner development goals. I found that very interesting because it starts with the being, with the thinking, relating, so taking care of others and of the world, collaborations, the social skills, and then acting, enabling change, where is also creativity. And in the thinking is creative thinking and critical thinking. So what this theory defends, and I think it makes sense, is that we also need to change our way of thinking, of being, of interacting, of taking care, so then that we really can develop new approaches to our planet. And so I think there's a lot of work, educational work to be done.
Yeah, it is actually. Katja just now mentioned about creative thinking. Let's look at this creative thinking. How does creativity skill, especially creative thinking, enhance competitiveness? Especially when you use creative thinking imply into creativity skill. How does all this creativity skill enhance competitiveness, especially nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, creative thinking, the objective is always to get original, surprising solutions, isn't it? So that is the whole goal, that you create something which is so different, so new, that it really surprises and has an impact. But the problem is there that creative thinking itself, it's not positive or negative outcome. You can be very creative and create awful things.
Create awful things. It's so quiche, isn't it? quiche art.
It's not positive. Creativity is not inherent positive. So, I mean, to be more competitive, of course, it's not enough if you think out of the box and you try to create original ideas or products. They also have to meet the needs of the people. If not, they will
it's true.
stay in the market.
It's true. Yes, exactly.
This competitiveness, I mean, at the moment, I think products in a kind of technological level, so they are so similar that what I feel in companies is making the difference is the story which is behind there. So storytelling, which is, the narrative thinking, which is a part of creativity,
exactly.
It's very important. So people want to be taught in storytelling, and that they can sell better their products.
Katja, just now we mentioned about market, which is this market driven. So has the utilization of the technology encourage value creation for business opportunities?
I'm sure it has. That technology, all these digital new services we are creating and which are substituting other services we used before. I mean, a very well-known example, going from old-fashioned taxis to Uber services. I don't know. Do you use Uber in Malaysia?
Is sold to Grabs. So Uber, So and
but we use it a lot
here.
Yeah.
So we are Grabs here.
Okay, and all these other, I know that between Europe and Asia, the use of these kind of digital services is different. But for example, traveling, you don't go to a hotel, you go to an Airbnb apartment. so there came completely new opportunities for the market through all this digitalization of services. So we're not only having this old-fashioned service design. Now we have the user experience design, because it's all digital. It has to be user-friendly. Also for elderly people, for example. A big problem. I mean, my mother is 84 now, and she never had very lately she had a mobile phone. Then I taught her to have a mobile phone, and now she has a WhatsApp so that we can change picture. But as she never used the computer, she looked there and said, "How do I write here?" I said, "Here are the letters." And she said, "But they are confused. There's not an order from A, B, C, D." I said, "No, it's not how that works." So she can't write. She just get it wrong. So she's speaking with me, which is a good solution. But a lot of new technology approaches are not actually for everybody. There's a lot of exclusion of elderly generation.
Yeah, especially those are we call the digital immigrants. So now, actually we are digital immigrants, put it this way, but we are lucky enough because we are almost at the end of the analog. Then we are immigrated to the digital world. So which is we understand the digital native.
Yes.
Like people older than us, right? They don't understand. Like my parents, right? They don't understand what all these digitization all about. Actually for them it's just kind of okay, what can I do with that?
Absolutely.
Then,
I think we as a happy generation we lived both sides. We did the transition.
Exactly. Now we are transitioning to the digital era, so we are lucky enough. We are more adaptability, and also sustainability. Most important thing is survivability.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. That's it. That's why I speak about life-centered. So it's
okay, Katja.
Mindset.
Katja, let's look at the core. Let's look at the core of the design thinking. In today's rapidly changing world, it is becoming increasingly important to approach complex problems with the innovative and sustainable solution. Design thinking, we just talked about that earlier on, and we have emphasized multiple times. So design thinking offers a fresh perspective on problem solving, combining empathy, creativity, and rationality to design effective and people-centered solution. So with a focus on the sustainability, this approach is gaining traction as organizations strive to address environmental and social challenges. So in your view, what is the role of design thinking in creating sustainable products and services?
Yes. I mean, design thinking itself is a method to innovation. But today it's the transition to a method to sustainable innovation. So it is a change. I mean, if you look at, actually I have a timeline behind me about the evolution of design thinking. It started with creative problem solving, and it's 100 years now, all these line. Oh, thank you to showing that. So if people can see it, we start actually with a view of a creative process from Poincaré, who really wrote a first time about it in 1923. I mean, and then it evolved. You see, there were not happening a lot of things, and it came a lot of influence from creativity research and from creative problem solving. But if you look to the right side, there's happening a lot. So they started then with service design coming up, then design thinking. Design thinking still in the design community is very discussed. Because designers are afraid that something were taken away from them, from their design methodology. Here in Portugal is a lot, I mean in Europe, there's a lot of in conferences they discuss, because what's happening is when in the 80s and 90s design were trying to get in companies and have an important role, it was very difficult. But suddenly design thinking is conquisting companies, and companies want to work with the method design thinking. And I think the reason is that design thinking is considering people from different domains. It's good to have in a team a designer or an architect or somebody with more visual or prototyping competences, but you don't have to. What is important here is the co-creation with people as diverse as possible. So taking this now to sustainability, because coming back to your question, and if you look to the timeline, only in the end, sustainability came in as a part of design thinking, and that's where we are. So I'm very happy to have to still live this in my professional work, that now we are companies looking for our advice and consultancy to how to apply design thinking methods in sustainable innovation. So our approach is clearly we want them to be more circular, and there are different
circular,
strategies.
yeah.
Yes, so we adapted our design thinking model. We designed an own design thinking model, which we called evolution, which were 6 phases. And we called it evolution because the creative process is evolutionary. There's never a real start. Okay, a briefing could be, but not really. And there's never a real end. It's only deadlines where we have to deliver. So we called it evolution. And when we start to think about sustainability, we thought, okay, let us redesign and rethink our evolution model. And so we call the new model re-evolution. Re-evolution, redesign. It's a revolution. So with this, we took
re-revolution. Okay.
Re-evolution, exactly. So
re-evolution. Okay.
Yes, with 2 E's, with 2 I's in the middle. Yes.
Okay, good.
And we used it as an acronym and put in every letter of the word re-evolution one of the circular economy strategies. So we have 11, because there are 11 letters, we have 11 strategies. And this is a very easy way to communicate this to companies, because we have to make it easy and memorizable. It can't be too complex if not people are not understanding it, and it has to be operative. Not only an explanation, but it has to be makes the use easy. So actually, I think our role as educators or consultants, we can call it like this, is also to help companies to do this change, to still work on innovation, but to have not only growth, economic growth in their mind, but also social well-being and an environmental well-being.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to
environmental sustainability. Yeah.
Yes, it has to be a balance. And I think designers' responsibility is really to help them to change that.
I think design thinking should be relevant for the environmental sustainability, according to what you just said.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't go around it. There's no way at the moment. You really have to deep in it, to dive in it, and that's what we're doing. And it's an opportunity also to be innovative in our own work. So yeah, we are really embracing it, but we know it's a difficult way, because a lot of companies are still not. I think only when you spoke about the law some times ago. You spoke about the law of nature, but I'm speaking about the law from the government, the political decisions. The moment they put something in the law that companies have to be more circular, then they will do it. If it's not obligatory, the process will be very, very slow. And it's only because society is demanding it. So
exactly. Okay. I like to look at your point, your view. How can design thinking and imagination be harnessed to create innovation solutions for a more sustainable future, based on your many years of experience in this area?
I'm coming from a design background, product design, and then I concentrate on processes very early, not on the outcome, but on the process. And actually what I discovered is that the creative process, or the design thinking process, or the innovation process, which are all interconnected, it's much more interesting and it's much more educative to concentrate on that, and you can apply it in every kind of project. So we work with startups, but also with very big companies, with the innovation departments. And through this methodology, we also have ways to find out, for example, I try to be very concrete. We worked with a company who had a lot of talents leaving. It was in IT. People were leaving. And they thought, is it because we are not paying so much than other companies do? But then through ethnographic research, we found out that was not the reason. The reason was that IT, they are very young people, and young people coming to leadership positions, but they don't know how to lead teams. So again, we have to teach also, again, mindset and again, behavior. And I think leadership at the moment is a very important topic. And there is also all this education in creative leadership, sustainable leadership. So they are coming up new concepts, which we still have to go deeper and to understand better how we can help not only organizations, the companies, but also the governments and society. I don't know if I drifted a bit away.
No, that's okay. I think I'm quite enjoying all your thought behind that, because I find that it's really nice to hear from you from the different perspectives, especially someone far away from me, actually. So which is I realize that there's a lot of commonalities, which is good. So it's kind of like reflection for me. So somebody, how come somebody thinking in such a way very similar to what I used to think about that? So which is good. So I think, Katja, we can be on and on another 1 hour or 2 hours that we never stop. I don't think the audience will stay on.
We could speak about cultural differences, about It's
okay, Katja.
Rich.
Yeah, exactly, Katja. I think this is a great thank you so much for giving us the time today, and from your busy schedule. I know that you're very, very busy. I know that you have a lot of things involvement, especially your ambassador of the which is a Portuguese for this World Creativity Innovation Day. So I think you're very, very busy. There have a lot of mission need to be done according to the United Nations, I believe so. So and of course, absolutely, for your sharing of all your expertise, and it gave us a lot to think about that as well, especially for me. So all this integration, interdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, by using the common methodology we call the design thinking. And then also service design is just not just a design. There's a many business aspect, entrepreneurship behind it as well. So I think it is absolute pleasure indeed, Katja, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. I also appreciate it. And I'm sure that perhaps some questions I took in another way, because we have so different ways of working and thinking. We are in the same subject, sustainability, innovation, design, but in two cultures and two realities. That's why the dialogue is so important. For me, the dialogue is one of the proceedings the most important actually in the world, because when you are in a dialogue, you can admit that the other person could be right. And
exactly.
give you a new understanding of something. So the moment the dialogue is stopping, we are lost. So I think this kind of podcasts and this invitation, this dialogue between two professionals, it's very, very rich. And thank you for this opportunity.
Oh, thank you. I mean, the pleasure is always mine, and also our audience. We are not having a student, academic, there's also professional as well out there, and also a lot of stakeholder out there also listening, because I invited those are the stakeholder, and also coming to listen, and business partner, and also our which is a collaborative partner as well, university to other university, and also somebody from UK, and people who are listening as well. So I think it's really nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katja.
Okay, thank you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, we will definitely. We will keep in touch. Okay, a little food for thought here. A lot of notes taken out. Wonderful, Katja, and thanks for all this sharing. And thank you for enlightenment as well. Those are the things you have just talked about that. Okay. Never before has innovation been so important. Being successful at innovation is not accidental. The ability to continuously transform knowledge and ideas into new products, services, processes, models, and systems for the benefit of the people and planet, or to possess innovation capability in sustainability, are the key requisite for the business success. So that's what we talked about that earlier on. And Katja also emphasized that to successfully face current challenges, it's a time for transboundary collaboration, trans-industry alliances, and radical actions. And all organization, profit and non-profit, play a role in it. So extending the scope of the service design, let's briefly go back to where we started service design. According to Katja was showing, those are the timeline, the history of the design thinking. But of course, we going to emphasize about the service design, that context. Some of the findings I found out, and I would like to put this forward to all of you. In 2015, Birgit Mager, co-founder or the president of the Service Design Network, stated that service design choreographs processes, technologies, and interaction within complex systems in order to co-create value for relevant stakeholders. Slova Dulia, CEO of Cube spelled in KIUUB. CEO of Cube is an innovative studio focused on no-code development and service design, stated in 2019. He said that service design is when the customer and the company feel good about the value they receive and provided, and the way they have to deliver the value. However, how many of us are creating and capturing value through sustainable people and planet-centric business models? According to Ben Holiday, a designer and digital transformation leader focused on supporting organizations and teams to deliver great products and services, he said that service design is business design when we focus on care about designing for both internal staff and external user experience together as front and backstage of how a service works. A few years ago, Marzio Arico, a design leader with 15 years of experience building and scaling strategic design teams to serve business and organization goals, and expert in developing the right infrastructure for customer-centric decision-making to happen in organization, also wrote that, he said that business design is now a contemporary capability added to any service design project, to the point that every project gets assigned both a service and a business designer. This is done to ensure that every project meets customer expectation, leverages business drivers and matrix of takes into consideration the organization policies, practices, processes, peoples, and system. This is exactly what Katja mentioned about this, and we also highlight this about that. Okay, a couple of hypothetical questions here for the audience to take it on when you walk away today. What if we think and add more transdisciplinary and believe that all experts who play a role in the current shift and the transformation should understand and become involved in the sustainable business and model innovation? Secondly, what if we all design for create and capture value equally for the audience, like the customer and the employee, and even the organization, society, and the planet? Yes, let's think about that. With that, Spotlight Dialogue episode is a live podcast organized by the Special Interest Group in Circular Creativity from Integrated Sustainability and Creative Strategies Research Cluster at Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation, APU. To keep up with the show, go to the APU Facebook and Instagram pages. There was our episode of a truly incredible season we have lined up for you. So please be sure to like and follow our APU Facebook and the Instagram, wherever you watch and listen to the live podcast, to never miss an episode. If listeners are curious to know more about us and find more information, please drop me a line, email address as indicated on the right top corner of the screen. Thanks for tuning in. Till then, take care and each other happy evening.